just need a.
Or are we still waiting? Okay,
Oh,
we're
I'm
ready.
sorry.
We're ready to board.
Sorry about that.
Thank you.
This is 14-1-01535-2 SEA State B Ward. Kristen Richardson here for the state. The defendant is present with her lawyer, Corey Parker. We're here for arraignment. I have given counsel a copy of the Vienna notification, Vienna Convention notification, and a copy of the information.
And good morning, Your Honor. For the record, Corey Parker on behalf of the defendant, Anna Marie Ward. She's standing to my left. She's in custody. Your Honor, we are acknowledging receipt of the discovery of the information. We're waiving formal reading and entering a plea of not guilty.
Not guilty plea, Your Honor.
Your Honor, just for the record, may I inquire briefly of Ms. Ward to get confirmation of her identification on the record?
Yes.
Is your name Anna Marie Ward? Yes. And you understand you've been charged with assault in the first degree? And do you understand the allegation is that on March 18th, with intent to inflict great bodily harm, you assaulted John Lewis Saber with a deadly weapon and forcing means likely to produce great bodily harm, that the deadly weapon was 2 lamps in a cane, and that there is a vulnerable victim aggravator that has been added to this case. I believe that counsel wants to address bail, Your Honor.
That's correct, Your Honor. Your Honor, I handed forward a series of letters from my client's family, in addition to a criminal history that was actually researched by the state that shows that she has no criminal convictions. Your Honor, today, in the second row here, you'll see that my client is joined by Olivia and Dwayne, her aunt, her sister rather, Jamie, her daughter, Eva, her sister, and Lita, who's also her sister. She has a number of family friends here in the second row, all very upstanding people that are here to support her. Your Honor, my client is 52 years old. She has no criminal history. She's lived half a century in Washington State, no criminal history whatsoever. She, if released, she would live with her sister, Olivia Denny, and her husband, who are here today, again in support. They live in Auburn, they have a stable home, and it's certainly far away from the alleged victim's residence. Your Honor, all these letters of reference state that my client is kind, gentle, non-violent. Your Honor, my client is a mother, a grandmother, a mother of 3 children, a grandmother of 3 children, all of who say that she was always motherly, always cared for the family, never exhibited any signs of violence. None of them ever thought that they'd see her here today in a jumpsuit. Now, Ms. Ward also has a condition called torticollis, Your Honor, which is very, very painful for her neck. She has a nerve disorder. This is a nerve disorder that pulls her neck to the left. It's extremely painful. Doctors told her that potentially she could be facing paralysis eventually, and if it's not treated, it's extremely uncomfortable. She's not receiving this medication that she needs and treatment that she needs while she's in custody. Now, in light of the fact that my client is certainly not a flight risk, she has no history of not appearing in court, she has no criminal history, she has no history of violence, the state is clearly basing this $1 million bail on simply the allegations. Now, understand, Your Honor, we're not here to try the case, but if the state's focusing on these allegations, defense feels like they should be able to do the same. Now, my client's 16-year-old daughter, who lived at this home where the incident allegedly occurred, witnessed the alleged victim strike my client very hard, right in front of her 16-year-old daughter. There are, in the prosecutor's probable cause statement, it shows that the alleged victim bit my client very hard in the thigh. She had bruises all over her body. Now, again, we're not here to try the case, Your Honor, but certainly there are some potential theories for the defense as far as self-defense that show that this alleged victim, yes, he is in his 90s, and we certainly don't want to make any disparaging remarks, and it's unfortunate what happened, but he was a strong man, and he certainly was capable of harming someone. It appears, Your Honor, that the state and the media have made this out to be my client being this caregiver that was licensed by the state, which is not true. My client was doing this out of the goodness of her heart. She was good friends with this man, and this man was experiencing delirium and was abusing my client. So, keeping her in custody, Your Honor, while this case is pending, it seems like an injustice with all the issues involved, with the fact that my client's not a flight risk. She's not going to harm anyone if released, Your Honor. She's going to be living with her sister, have a very stable home. She is more than willing to be subject to electronic home detention, but in her 52 years of life, she's never gone out to harm someone. She's never committed a crime, and it would be, again, we believe too restrictive, Your Honor, to hold her here on $1 million bail when there's no history of anything in her life, and where these allegations are simply that, just allegations. And as you know, Your Honor, she should be presumed innocent until proven guilty. Another statement, Your Honor, that was made to my client's sister was that I don't know who's in trouble here. That was a statement made by the police officer. Once they sorted it out, saw a mutual struggle, said, I don't even know who's in trouble here. So my client was the one taken to jail. The alleged victim was the one taken to the hospital. Again, this is an unfortunate incident, but we are asking, Your Honor, in light of all of her history, you certainly, I know we're aware of 3.2 subsection A, release of the accused that...
What is it you're asking for?
Your Honor, what defense is asking for today is for my client to be released on personal cognizance. We believe that any bail at this point with her full history is too restrictive. We believe she's not likely to commit a violent crime. She's not likely to intimidate any witnesses, interfere with the administration of justice, and pursuant to the rule, the court must impose the least restrictive conditions. I'll also bring your attention, finally, Your Honor, that originally when this $1 million bail was set, my client was being charged with attempted murder in the second degree, which the state has since amended. The state amended that for a reason. The $1 million was taken into consideration when it was attempted murder in the second degree. Now we're down to assault in the first degree. Now, certainly I understand Your Honor has a busy calendar.
Which, frankly, standard range, very similar on both crimes.
Agreed, Your Honor. The range is similar. We understand she does have a significant prison time hanging over her head, but again, we would state that these are just allegations. Your Honor, I know it's a busy calendar, but I would like, if Your Honor was willing to hear from her sister, Linda, who she'd be living with, just to see the support she has, just to see that this woman who's known her for her entire 52 years can vouch that she is a kind person, and that this all stemmed from this isolated incident. So this is not something that would occur if she was awaiting trial. While this case is pending, she has a private attorney. She would appear to all her court dates. But if you would briefly...
Mr. Parker, I'm actually not going to do that. I've had a chance to review all the letters. I'm aware that your client has a lot of support here.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Richardson?
Your Honor, the victim has family here too, just so the court knows. Obviously, this defendant is not nonviolent, as the letters indicate. She confessed in full. She confessed to beating this 91-year-old man with 2 lamps that were brass and his cane. She confessed to snapping, and there's nothing to say that that's not going to happen again. If he dies, it will be charged as a murder in the second degree. He's not out of the woods. He's out of ICU, but he was seriously injured. He had many, many fractures. He had an injured spleen. He had a jaw that was so dislocated that he cannot talk. His teeth were pushed to the back of his throat. I don't think that the minor little marks on this defendant speak to self-defense, and we'll leave with that. And I would note that the defendant, when she confessed, told the police she wanted to go to jail. She wanted to be sentenced the next day. And I would also note that her daughter, I interviewed personally, and she said absolutely nothing about there being a hit that morning. She said nothing about it. Her standard range, as it is now, is 147 months at the top end. If we split the deadly weapons, it will be 195. If we get an exceptional sentence, which we will ask for under the vulnerable victim aggravator, it will be well above that. She's looking at 20 years. PR is not appropriate. It was set at $1 million for a reason. It needs to stay where it is.
And Your
Any
Honor,
final brief word?
thank you, Your Honor. I would like to also point out that my client, at the time, because of her torticollis condition, which is very serious, was taking a drug called Arraignment. And recently, prior to this incident, they enhanced her doses significantly. She's had this condition for a number of years, but they actually enhanced the conditions. The doctor here at the jail and other doctors that she's spoken with in the past said that this drug can cause aggravation, agitation, confusion, weakness, choking, mood swings, and memory loss. There's a laundry list of side effects to this drug that she was taking too much of at the time. So in response to the state's argument that she could do this again, allegedly, she will not be on this high dose of Arraignment. She will be living at home, she'll be cared for, and she'll be taking the right amount of medication. And so certainly these are all issues for litigation and for negotiation. We understand, again, we're not here to try the case, but we would like, Your Honor, to take into consideration that this one incident did stem from, high doses of Arraignment and potential self-defense. For all those reasons, Your Honor, we do believe that personal recognizance is appropriate. And again, if the court is concerned about my client's whereabouts, flight, she is more than willing to be on electronic home detention, a call in for CCAP, whatever is necessary to secure the court that she will be returning to court, to all of her court dates.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Bail's gonna remain.
Your Honor, in the alternative, would you be willing to reduce the bail to a lower amount, not personal recognizance, but down to $500,000, down to $200,000? Something that I believe would be, I believe $1 million is too high.
No, not at this point, not given the severity of the allegations.
Okay, not even to $800,000.
I'm not gonna reduce it.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor, I should note, just so the court knows, the jail has listed her bail at $2 million, which is incorrect. They included the first appearance bail as well. So I don't know if we need a separate order to correct that, or if this will accomplish that. We probably need to get a copy of it to the jail.
Your Honor, we would like to arrange for my client to have her glasses. She can't see without her glasses, and
She broke John's
family
glasses.
members attempted to bring them to her, and the jail denied her having them, so.
I'm gonna ask that you work with the jail on that. If you have future problems, you can note that for a motion.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes.
And we're also asking for a no contact order to be entered protecting John Staber.
No objection from defense on that, Your Honor. We've signed that.
Thank
as
you.
well.
That. Jen, that's in this case. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.